And coming to responsibility, so what is responsibility? Responsibility is the obligation to perform certain functions and achieve the results. Okay, so responsibility means obligation, so obligation, duty to perform certain functions. So the authority will be given by the manager. Okay, and this responsibility will be carried down by the subordinates. Okay, they are obliged to do the work, obliged to perform the work. So it is the duty of the subordinates. Okay, so to perform certain functions and achieve the results at the end of the day. So it is the ability of for proper discharge of duties. It is the obligation of a subordinate to whom a superior has assigned a task and delegated authority to perform the task as required. Okay, and responsibility without adequate authority can lead to dissatisfaction and conflicts, etc. So required amount of responsibility, required amount of delegation of authority should be given to the subordinates. Then only the subordinates will be responsible towards the work, given work. Okay, if at all the responsibility without adequate authority, if at all authority is not delegated adequately to the required job, okay, then the subordinate may not perform well, and at the end of the day this leads to dissatisfaction and conflicts within the organization. And responsibility is the obligation an individual owns to complete the assigned task by his or superior or her superior, whether he is a worker, subordinate, or manager. Okay, again I'm saying authority in three levels of management. We know top level, middle level, lower level management. Top level assigns or delegates some authority to middle level, and middle level delegates to subordinates of lower level. Okay, so therefore responsibility is also seen in these levels of management. Okay, so therefore he may be a worker, he may be a subordinate, he may be a manager. Okay, and in other words of Theo Hammond, responsibility is the obligation of a subordinate to perform the duty as required by his superior. Okay, so therefore finally we can say that responsibility means delegation of required authority by the superior to the subordinate. Okay, so then only the person may be responsible towards his work. Okay, and features of responsibility means responsibility is to assign duty to human beings only. Okay, so this is the first feature, assigned to human beings only. And the other one is, it is the obligation of a subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. This is another feature. Responsibility means the duty to be performed by subordinates, or the obligation of a subordinate to perform the assigned duty. So this is second feature. Coming to third feature, superior subordinate relationship. So what we will see in responsibility means two individuals involved, one is superior and the other one is subordinate. So the relationship will be superior subordinate relationship. Coming to another one, responsibility means it flows from bottom to upwards. Okay, not to top to down, down to up means bottom to upward. So that's why this is a upward approach. Okay, and responsibility flows upwards, and subordinates is always responsible to superior. And another one is responsibility cannot be delegated. Okay, authority can be delegated but responsibility cannot be delegated. Why? Because that particular person only responsible to his work, no other person will be responsible. Why? Because he has to complete that particular work. Okay, so therefore authority may be delegated, okay, to some partially. Some authority can be delegated to the subordinates, but here responsibility cannot be delegated. Okay, and the person accepting responsibility is accountable for the performance of assigned duties. Okay, so responsible authority means responsibility, responsibility gives rise to accountability. Accountability is nothing but the person who is responsible to complete that particular task, he is accountable at the end of the day to the superior. So the punishment or reward will be given to that particular person only. Why? Because he is responsible and he is accountable for the performance of assigned duties. And the other one is, it is hard to fulfill responsibility without authority. Yes, without authority responsibility cannot be seen, and without responsibility authority authority without responsibility cannot be seen. So both responsibility and authority go hand in hand. Okay. And types of responsibility, there are majorly two types of responsibility. One is operating responsibility, other one is ultimate responsibility. Operating responsibility, operating means the day-to-day activities at that particular point of time in that particular department. Okay, so responsibility or obligation that can be delegated by superior to the subordinate to perform assigned task in that subject to that particular point of time, that particular point of work, that particular point of department. Operating in the sense it is not a continuous thing. To that particular activity only they are confined, they are responsible. Okay, to that particular job only the superior will delegate some authority to the superior, right? Next one, ultimate responsibility means the final person who is responsible. For example, middle manager, okay, middle level manager, he delegated some authority to the subordinate partially to complete the task. Okay, so but at the end of the day, even though if the task is completed or not, the person who is responsible to the uh, top level management means not the subordinate, only superior is responsible. That is, the middle level manager is responsible to the top level management but not the subordinate. So ultimate responsibility means even though operating responsibility is given to subordinate, at the end of the day, okay, who is responsible to the top level management means ultimate responsible person is manager. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the operating responsibility and ultimate responsibility, and these are the two responsibilities involved. And on the ultimate responsibility, we'll study about political responsibility, institutional responsibility, professional responsibility, etc. So political responsibility means a responsibility of the executives towards the legislature. Okay, so what were the policies and procedures, what were the rules and regulations, what were the laws regarding the for example, what were the labor laws. Okay, likewise we the responsible political responsibility executives have to look over all these aspects, and they are responsible towards these legislature items. Okay, and coming to institutional responsibility means to regarding the administrative agencies. Okay, regarding the administration aspects of the organization towards public, those persons are responsible towards this. Okay, so those comes under the institutional responsible persons. And coming to professional responsibility means civil servants, the responsibility of the civil servants towards their ethics or code of conduct, ethics, etc. All this comes under the professional responsibility. Professional in the sense the person who is uh, doing his job. Okay, regarding his profession, he is liable to that profession to the extent of that position he is responsible. Okay, so professional responsibility basically it is related to the civil servants. Okay, so these are the aspects that were involved in the responsibility, types of responsibility. And finally we'll see about authority and responsibility differences. Okay, so what were the differences? So first one is, what is the basis for the differences of authority and responsibility? So basis of difference means meaning, according to meaning wise, according to source of origin, direction of flow, purpose, required, duration. So on all these aspects, okay, how authority differs, how responsibility differs can be seen. Now we'll go for first one, meaning. So what is the meaning of authority, what is the meaning of responsibility? Okay, so what is the basis difference between these two regarding meaning? So what is the meaning of authority means it is the power or right to issue the orders or right to give orders to others. Okay, here superiors give orders to subordinates. Coming to responsibility, it is an obligation to perform duty. Here they will have the right to give orders, but here responsibility means the subordinates should follow the right that had given the orders that were given by the superiors. So here superior give orders to subordinate, and subordinate is obliged to perform that particular duty. But okay, so Meaning, after meaning, we'll see source of origin or origin. Origin means from where it is emerged. Okay, so authority means it emerges from formal position in the organization. So the job position which is involved in the scalar chain. So we all know scalar chain is nothing but the priority according to the job positions is given. So here origin will be from the job position. According to job position, authority will be given. We will see the highest power in top level. Okay, and coming to middle level, they have according to those departmental authority. Finally, lower level management, they have the authority which is delegated by the middle level management regarding a particular activity or work. Coming to responsibility, here superior subordinate relationship it emerges. So it emerges from the relationship between superior and subordinate, but here through organizations form formal organization according to the position, job position. Okay, the authority can be acquired. Next, direction of flow. So we all know authority means top to lower level, the direction will be there. Top level gives delegates authority to middle level, middle level delegates to lower level, so top to bottom level. Here coming to who is responsible, subordinates are responsible, therefore the flow will be from down to upwards, therefore bottom to top level, upward direction. This is downward direction. And what is the purpose means it is to make decisions, okay, using of resources, and finally giving directions and instructions to execute the plan. Okay, so this is the authority. And coming to purpose of responsibility. So what is the purpose of responsibility means here making decisions, here executing the duties. Okay, execution of duties by subordinates. Okay, which are given by the superiors. Coming to requires, what needs authority. Okay, what needs authority means ability. What ability? Ability to give orders. And responsibility means ability to follow the orders. Why? Because here they are obliged, or they are to perform the duty. Okay, so here requires means what we need means we need ability to give orders, ability to follow orders. And duration means it continues for a longer period of time, and as soon as the task is accomplished, here responsibility is also ended. Why? Because a particular activity, for a particular activity, superior delegates some authority partially to subordinate. So after completion of that particular activity, responsibility is also ended there. But here authority is not like that. Till the job position is there in the organization, whichever position is there in the organization, it continues for a long time. Okay, so these are the differences between authority and responsibility.